go.
So the finally here, perform it for you. If you know the words, you
Oh yeah.
join in too. Put your hands together.
Yes.
If you wanna clap, as we take you through this monkey rap.
Oh yeah.
He's the leader of the bunch. You know him.
He's the leader of the bunch, yeah.
Finally back to kick some tail.
Okay.
Coconut gun, can fire in spurts. If he shoots you, it's gonna hurt.
Does this song have a bridge? Okay. There we go. Welcome back to the My Nintendo podcast. Episode 4, everybody. So here we are on the podcast, and I'm so excited to be back. It's always fun to be here, and you have many choices in your entertainment on the internet and everywhere else. So thank you for choosing my podcast as your form of entertainment. Now, I don't know what happened here. I feel like I lost something, but cause I got 2 browser sources. Okay, I guess they didn't get labeled correctly. But anyway, welcome back to the podcast. It's going to be kind of a light week. I got a little bit of a late start on this, but I hope you guys enjoy it. And I did want to go over a couple of cool things, interesting things, and I want to talk about a couple of things. So let's get into it. So first of all, now you guys may or may not, have run into a situation. I don't know why I can't get this browser to look good. I don't know. The browser on OBS kind of sucks. But anyway, so what my point is here is apparently ants get into electronics, which is something that I had no idea. That ants got into electronics. I know that they're. I used to work at GameStop, and I know for a fact. Put that back on. That insects get into consoles, and it's usually roaches. From my knowledge, usually roaches. So, but in this case, an individual made a YouTube video, and I'll be popping that video up in just a second. I wanted to kind of set this up though. So, it's not just roaches that are apparently attracted. I'm gonna Google it on my phone, guys, because the stupid web browser and OBS sucks. But, ants in Switch. I wanted to read some of these, so I'm just going to read them from my phone. Ants in Nintendo Switch. This is not an isolated issue. Okay, someone made a post on Reddit. Need help getting these ants out of my Switch. And so, which is crazy, to me. And the first comment, reinstall the OS to remove any bugs. Undefeated internet. Shine a bright light on the vent of your Switch. Ants like darkness and will move out of it if a place is lit up. The advice is from an ant keeper. Ugh. I would like to subscribe to Ant Facts. Put something they don't want to eat near your Switch. Oh god. Oof. This gives me the heebie-jeebies, guys. Can't you imagine my brand new Switch OLED full of ants? Ugh. Anybody else ants in a Switch? Let me know in the comments below. If you had ants in your Switch, I'm not judging you if you have. It seems to happen. And I will say, your first reaction might be, well, that person should clean up their place. Look, man, I work at a college, and that place has had ants in it almost every day since I've started there. And no matter how much we spray, they get in the refrigerator. So they're just a very invasive species. This isn't a cleanliness issue. Roaches usually might be. I don't know. Could be or couldn't be. I tend to think with roaches it's different. But, it depends on living conditions, things like that. I don't want to get into that aspect of it. But with ants, it's very strange. But they are very invasive. You know, I noticed they got into the fridge at work. It's like, there's ants in a fridge. If they get into a fridge, they get into a switch. So it is odd, you know, why they would be attracted to it. It's so strange. I'm looking to see what. Oh, maybe they got crumbs. That's a good point that someone said in the comments, is maybe crumbs got inside their Switch. So don't eat with your Switch. I don't. Yes, crumbs could get inside the Switch and then they could go after the crumbs. Interesting point. I'm trying to figure out how ants are getting inside a Switch. That's really the most primary thing that I want to try to figure out. Like, how? How are insects getting into the console? Okay, this is something else. Let's see here. Oh, here's Quora. Quora is always a good choice. Here's somebody. This is not me. This is somebody on Quora. Well, they shouldn't be in there long, and if they don't come out soon, they will probably die in a few days. Regarding ants in the Switch, as only the oldest workers come out of the nest to ensure the survival of the colony. My question is, how did they get in there? Did you put them in there? Because ants wouldn't be poking around Nintendo's Switch of all things. This is my question. If you want them out without dying, you could probably put it outside. Okay, blah, blah, blah. I don't think the person ever answered how they got in there. Crumbs is a interesting, I don't know. I mean, is that how they get in there? It really is fascinating. What else? Oh, there's a game Anthill for Nintendo Switch, by the way, on Google if you want that. Here we go. How to get ants out of my Nintendo Switch. Now, I'm seeing multiple people ask this. It's not just one person. Let's see here. Oh, here's one on Game Facts. Found out my Joy-Con has become Ant's Nest. It still works perfectly, but ants keep coming out continuously from the space at the ZR button. Does ants even capable of damaging in the first place? Good question. Not sure, though. You might want to make sure they aren't getting into the Switch itself. Apparently PS4s have a problem with roaches getting cooked onto their components. So I'm not sure if the same thing could happen to ants in a Switch. Another response. Also, bees making hives in the Xbox One? Oh, God. Yeah. Okay, that's weird. Alright, so that's the setup, okay? So we're going to watch this video together. And I'm going to react to this video in this podcast. But I will be describing what's happening for those listening on Apple Music. By the way, we are on Apple Music. We are on Spotify. I am behind with uploading the episodes, though, so please bear with me. I've been very busy. But if you're listening just on that platform, you're not hearing this anyway. But if you're, wanting to get it loaded onto your podcast, it will be available. I've just been very slow about it. It's just some extra work, and sometimes I just don't feel like doing it. So that's me being honest. Anyways, we're gonna watch this ant video now. Maybe. Oh, Babu. Oh, hold on. Hold on. I don't think I have any audio going, guys. Hold on. I wanted to listen to this video, and hold on. We're gonna start this over again. Okay. We're starting this over again. Excuse me.
Hello guys, and welcome back. In today's video, we are going to try to remove unwanted visitors inside your Nintendo Switch. What I mean of visitors, these are ants. We all know that mostly ants like to go inside gadgets because they are attracted to electrical flow. Now
they are? Hold on. Ants are attracted to electrical flow. Ants are
Within it has tiny
attracted
visitors. As you can see,
to
it has ants coming from all
Oh
corners
my
of its
god,
body.
look at that,
Now, I
guys.
don't know how many are
Electrical
inside it,
flow.
but it's a little alarming because we all know that ants have the ability to destroy electronic
Ants have an
devices
affinity for electrical
inside
fields.
its main body, like
I don't know,
PCs,
man. That's
phones, and many more.
okay.
So in
I
this
guess there's
gadget,
some
I will be
scientific
showing you
precedents,
how
but
to
I
get rid
don't
of
buy
these
it.
pests that lives inside our devices
I've
without
never seen that
opening your
happen.
switch. Now, here are the things that we will need: a container, a lot of cotton, and an insect spray.
But if you do have ants in your Switch,
And
I have
we're
to
good to
say,
go. So first,
this is a
open
pretty
your
good
Nintendo
method.
Switch and go to settings and turn off sleep mode to avoid the Nintendo Switch for shutting down, because we need its fans to circulate the fumes inside the Nintendo Switch to eliminate the ants or to shove them out of the console itself. Now, spread out cotton
What?
inside the container. Next, spread the cotton
Oh
with
my
bug
god.
spray. Then put the Nintendo Switch inside and close the container for 20 minutes.
This is just so
And let's see
ridiculous.
later on what is
I
the
mean, are
result.
you with me here on how
Alright,
ridiculous
20
this
minutes has
is?
passed, and now let's open our container.
This is
Whoa,
pretty wild, though.
it
Oh my
smells
god, of
nasty.
course it does.
Alright, now as you can see here, it has ants that are in the
Oh.
cotton, and they are mostly dead. So it
Disgusting.
works, but the only downside about this is that your Switch will smell like bug spray.
Oh my
But even
god.
though at least you got rid of these ants that might damage
I would take mine
inside
apart.
your
I'm
Nintendo
sorry. I'm
Switch.
not doing that.
So that's about
But
it. If you
I
liked the
guess
video,
that's
please
one
give it a
way.
big
I
thumbs
think
up.
I would probably
Thank you
go
so
with
much,
something
guys.
that didn't smell like
So that's about it for a video for
bug
today. Thanks so
spray,
much, guys, for
though.
watching. And
Oh, okay. So, thoughts? Those watching on the premiere, let me know in the comments, what the heck do you think of that? What do you make of this? Have you had ants in your electronics? I have not had ants in my electronics. I don't know. I don't know how to respond to that video. I saw that pop up on my feed. It only has like 400 views. So I hope I can make this go viral, because it's like, I feel like that guy deserves to go. And I'll link to him so he also goes viral, but that is some weird crap, and I can't understand why that video hasn't gone viral yet. It's just not something you see. Like, roaches I get, because if you know anything about roaches, they just burrow and hide in things, and you know, a game system is a warm thing. They breed really fast. That makes sense to me, even though it's gross. But ants is weird because, you know, they're attracted to electrical currents. I mean, Dr. Brad Vinson, professor of entomology at Texas A&M University, was involved with earlier lab studies that seem to indicate that ants have an affinity for electrical fields that make them rest in those areas, thus making it more likely that they get shocked. What? And the ant in question here is the illustrious fire ant, which I have to be honest is probably the last thing that you want on your Switch, in your Switch. Holy crap. I don't know. I don't think this guy's take of it being electrical is them attracted to electricity is correct. It looks like if they get shocked, I think he's got it wrong here. Somebody let me know in the comments. Maybe I'm wrong, but what I just read said that ants release pheromones when they're shocked, so they'll attract other ants. But that's not the same thing as being attracted to electrical flow or energy or whatever he said. So let me know in the comments what you think, but I have no clue what is going on with that. So I had to share it with you guys. Almost didn't do a podcast this week, and then I saw that, and I was like, I have to talk about this. There really wasn't much in the way of news this week. Just to talk about some general news topics. They did have the Kirby My Nintedo Rewards drop, the digital ones that actually have value, which is the icon elements for your Nintendo Switch. So those did drop, 180 for all of those. Make sure you pick those up. But overall, yeah, pretty slow week in gaming. with the announcement of the closure of E3, well, at least for this year, I don't know. Maybe it could end up being a more permanent closure, but we don't really know. I guess it could end up being more permanent. Who really knows? They've closed E3. What a lot of people don't know is E3 is, if you research the history of E3, E3 has a rocky history. It was in Atlanta for a while, and then it was back in LA, and then they canceled it and moved it to a hotel room, and then they got rid of it, and then they brought it back. And so it's like musical chairs or a revolving door. It just keeps coming back. So I don't think that this is the end of E3, but what it has happened is I feel like, I don't know how news is going to get released. I love when the smaller pubs, even with a digital presentation, release stuff, because it's really cool to hear from the smaller pubs and what they're doing. Example of a game would be like Sports Story for the Switch, it would be great, but I'm a little worried with E3 not being there that some of these smaller pubs won't get the shine, because when you think about it, or maybe they'll hold out for Gamescom too. I think a lot of people will maybe release stuff at Gamescom. Maybe people that didn't have stuff ready. Because Gamescom, I think, is still going to happen. PAX is still going to happen. So maybe we'll see releases more around. Maybe, people will time their announcements around other conventions. I don't know. I think Nintendo will do a direct this summer to announce fall projects and products. I don't think we've seen the last of stuff coming out in fall. I don't think Xenoblade Chronicles 3 is a big enough anchor for them, to be honest. I don't think they're going to anchor a holiday season on that. That game is pretty weak for them. Xenoblade Chronicles 2 only sold like 2 million. That's not really like a big game for them. It's a big game for JRPG fans like myself, even though I didn't really like 2 that much, so I'm like... But that game is just not enough. They need more, and I'll bet you they have more. But anyway, I wanted to move to the final topic, which is me going back to doing some physical collecting. Now, I brought up here demo disc pack, because when I was out, I was doing Will I Buy today, and this. Okay, there we go. So, golly, this browser and OBS doesn't work. Here we go. That's all I need. So I'm going to start collecting a couple of different things. I just recently got the Xbox Series X. And I want things that I can collect, that I can find in the wild. That's the most number one important thing to me, is that I can find this stuff and I don't have to pay exorbitant amounts for it. I don't want to collect things that cost a lot. For a multitude of reasons. Mostly because I want to collect things that make me happy, that I'm not looking to flip or sell. I still buy things to flip or sell, but those things I'm not collecting. So, for something to make it into my collection, my library, if you will, into my highly curated small collection that I keep for physical games, it needs to be something good. Now, what I kind of decided to do was to pursue disc only. Now, you may be going, you really want disc only? And I'm like, no, but let me explain. Disc only is a way to collect physical media that takes up less space. I think it's still better than having a digital media. For example, this is a great example. I just picked up Xbox Live Arcade, popped it in my Series X, and it worked like a charm. Now, I picked up some demo discs that didn't, but those aren't backwards compatible. But Xbox Live Arcade is, and it just immediately loaded all 4 games from Xbox Live Arcade onto my Xbox Series X. It was awesome. So that kind of gave me a rush, that popping that in the Series X and that physical media working. And so, yeah, I really wanted to go ahead and start collecting cheap physical media, be it disc only. Because, normally I'd look at disc only and go, ugh, but it's because I'm trying to resell. And reselling disc only, unless it's like something super in demand, is really not. It's not the one, as it were. It's not the one. But yeah, I don't know. I'm really interested in a couple of different physical things right now. Xbox Live, Xbox demo discs. Don't ask me why. They probably won't work on anything I have. I won't even be able to play them. They certainly, the 360 demo disc that I popped in my Series X did not work earlier. I may have to buy a 360 to play them later. But it's not about that. It's about collecting them. How much are you going to play a demo, you know? So I'm going to start collecting those and other Xbox disc-only stuff for my Xbox library, because I don't, Xbox games don't really hold value like Sony games do and like Nintendo games do, at least in my experience. So I don't care so much about having a fancy boxes. I mean, if I do, I do. If I can find those, that's fine. But it's going to be more about the price point when I collect. I want to collect things that I enjoy, that bring me back nostalgia and bring me back to my youth, but that don't, they bring you back, but it doesn't cost an arm and a leg. Like I'd love to buy a Turbo Graphics or a Turbo Mini Duo or, a million different things, but all that stuff is so expensive, and it's like, there's just no justifying the cost of most retro games. But if you can buy some Xbox demo discs, those are things that people are going to consider low value, so they're going to be easy to find out in the wild. Found one today. Going to keep looking. I've got a couple of spots in town that I think really might have demo discs. So I will probably look around. And it was just a cool thing to look for. That was my kind of my deal is I wanted to collect stuff that I could find. I don't want to have to go on eBay and shell out $100 for items and then look at it and go, oh, well, I paid $100 for this. God, am I going to sell it? Or no, I want to be able to go out in the wild and pick things out that I like, that I can play, or not even play, but I can enjoy, even if it's not playing it like these demo discs. Just something that's cool. That's, there'll be trophies to find, and it'll be cool to collect a collection just out in the wild and build it organically versus having to go on eBay. Not saying I won't maybe buy it like this on eBay if I find a good deal, but really what I'm looking for is only good deals, period, with collecting. I'm not paying up for anything. And so that's kind of why I chose that. The other thing I want to start looking at cheap is GBA cartridges. I would really like to pick up, I showed in my Will I Buy that just relaunched today, Season 2 premiere. Go check it out on my channel, YouTube channel, Mike Will Experiment, Will I Buy. But it's a game show about thrifting. But, I saw a really cool Platinum Game Boy, and I was like, I kind of want this. And it got me to thinking, I wouldn't mind collecting cartridges because they're so small. You're not... Again, for me, it's about space. I don't have a lot of space, which is why I'm primarily a digital collector, but I am enjoying getting back into some physical media, so that's just kind of how I'm approaching it. Also, I'll be on the hunt for backwards compatible. I bought Terraria today, not realizing it wasn't backwards compatible. That's the second game that's burned me like that, but it's okay. I own it on the Switch. It's not a big deal, but I have a copy now. Oh, I lost a foot from my microphone. When did that happen? Oh, I wonder if that just came off because I'm messing with the mic. I'm going to look for that foot because that's probably bad. Alright. I mean, it doesn't matter, I guess. Maybe just rip off all the other ones. But, anyway. Oh, that sucks. I gotta find that. So, it'll be interesting to go back to doing a little bit of collecting physical media. So I am looking forward to that. But what do you guys think about physical media? Let me know in the comments below. I'm going to go run off and look for this foot for my microphone because it is really distracting me. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm going to play us out. Like I said, a little bit shorter podcast. I didn't have quite as much material, but, I'm not going to stretch out something. That's not what we do here. We don't make 10-minute news videos. We make 30-second ones. We don't make 5-hour podcasts. We make 30-minute ones because I'm going to talk when it's cool, when it's full of content, and I'm going to stop talking when I don't have anything else to say. That's me. But anyway, let's play it out with Donkey Kong, everybody. Yeah. Gotta at least play to that little
Here we
bridge.
go.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the finally here. Performing for you. If you know the words, you can join in too.
What?
Put your hands together if you wanna clap.
What else?
As we take you through this monkey rap.
Okay. Oh!
Fire and spurts. If he shoots you, it's gonna hurt. He's bigger, faster, and stronger too.
I'm nodding. You can't see, but I'm nodding.
DK crew.
Let's go! I'll see you next week on the My Nintendo podcast. Hope y'all having a great week.